welcome once again. Thanks, Pavan. And it was an engaging panel before this. And before I start this, I'll quickly share something. When my editor Roshan told me that there will be a fireside chat, and I was just wondering that we're entering the month of May, and fireside chat. Then I did a little bit of research on this. Then most of you might know the story, but I'll just take 30 seconds. That the name comes from Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd president of USA, who did some radio broadcasts when America was going through some gloomy times like Second World War and the banking crisis and Great Depression. So he used to speak with such passion during his radio broadcast that people who were listening, they used to think that he's sitting right next to them. So that's why it's called the fireside chat. Yeah. Did you know that?
No, okay. Definitely no.
Okay, so thanks. So, Pavan, quickly, while we heard a lot about micromobility from you, but just want to understand from you now. Can you just tell me a little bit of your story just before you founded the company? And you're an IITian, right? Yeah. So just very quickly, if you can tell me your story, like the audience, your story.
Rapido has been an 8th attempt, or the 8th startup that I have worked for, or I have founded. There have been 7 failed attempts. I think definitely one of the differences between all the 7 attempts versus the Rapido is, I would definitely say, the team we have at Rapido. Before Rapido, we were working on a startup called The Carrier. It was into aggregation of trucks, simply put. And while we were trying to do that, we were constantly faced with the challenge of, as a part of the business, when we ourselves were trying to commute, we ourselves faced the challenge of either if I needed a faster or a reliable mode of commute, there needs to be a hole in the pocket, or if I need to save money, then reliability has gone for a toss. So that's how, and this was back in 2015 when there was already a ride-sharing revolution happening in the country. But what we as a middle class people understood was, if there is a ride-sharing revolution happening in the country, how come every single day in and day out, all the public transport is crammed, and people are literally waiting for, 10 minutes, half an hour, without any sense of reliability. So we decided that we would take a shot at commute. And one of the ethos at Rapido has always been, can we do something that is going to impact not just tens, but hundreds of millions or a billion lives? That has been very core to every initiative that we have done. And when we looked at this problem statement, we have realized that India has the largest number of two-wheelers in the entire world. It has the largest number of manufacturers in the entire world. Even a farmer's son has a potential or has the probability of owning a two-wheeler. For a population of 1.4 billion plus, there are 200 million plus two-wheelers. Almost every family has a bike. Then we said, why don't we use this infrastructure to create a commute, not just in the top 7 cities, but also the rest of the hundreds of cities in the country. I think we started our pilot in Bangalore, and fortunately, the team has been doing great job.
So you're more of an enhancer instead of a disruptor, because startups are disruptors, right?
I think that is a very, or the philosophy that we follow is, disruption can happen in any way. What we firmly believe is, disruption in this segment happened because of the way we executed it. Okay. Right from the start, when we know that Rapido is establishing an entire category in the country for the first time, we realized safety needs to be a pillar. the lengths to which we have gone to ensure safety of this category, to ensure to ensure the safety of the user, has not just been national level. I think if you compare the safety standards of Rapido at a global level, we'll be one of the best. Right from not just having reactive measures that the customer has to use, like tracking, customer support, 24/7 customer support, sharing your live location to your friends. We have gone one step further. We have said, and even if the customer is not paying attention during his or her ride, because a lot of us are on the phone, right, or engaged in something else, engaged in life. We said, how can when the customer is not aware, how can I still be aware, and how can I drive that awareness?
Okay, but would you call ride-sharing companies as transportation companies, or would you call them, companies making a social impact or environmental impact, and is there a way to measure environmental impact and economic impact?
I think not just ride-sharing company. I think any company, it can be defined by the founders. Usually, founders or the company's ethos. So any company can be defined by the founder's ethos. At Rapido, like I said, one of the things the founding team is more concerned with is creating impact on hundreds of millions or billions of lives. And that is something that we have executed over the last decade. If you see, Rapido has created 80 lakh plus jobs. If you see the scale, and as of today, every single month, Rapido creates 1.5 lakh new earning opportunities. If I just put that in perspective, you take a government department like Indian Railways or Indian Army Forces, we hire more than them. And that is every single month. Over the course, these 80 lakh captains have almost earned 15,000 crores across the decade. And our intention has been exactly this. While there were a number of players doing the same bike taxi, what put us apart is we had a vision of saying, if a youth has a bike and has the intention to earn time, he should be able to do it. Nothing should stop him. Even if it is for 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 full day. Our technology, our tools, our solutions should give them the opportunity, whether that person is in Delhi or in Jorhat, any corner of the country.
Okay, I think today you signed an MOU with the Ministry of Labor for a few lakh gig jobs. What exactly is that? Quickly, if you can tell me.
So yesterday, continuing our mission to create employment at a large scale, we recently partnered with Ministry of Labor and Employment to create 50 lakh new jobs across the upcoming 3 years. And the best part is, out of these 50 lakhs, we are aiming to create 5 lakh jobs for women. One of the principles at Rapido is, you give a job to a guy, his life is sorted. You give a job to a woman, the entire family is sorted. And that is something we truly believe in. We have been pushing our boundaries to make sure that women employment is created and expedited. One of our initiatives is Rapido Pink, which is a solution to empower especially women. Women captains, we call our drivers as captains. Women captains for women users.
But one quick question on...
do you also train Rapido riders or any kind of riders to possibly ride better, ride safer, because safety is a big thing now?
So this is something when we are talking to collaborating with multiple state governments, we try to put it in perspective. Every bike that is put on the road because of Rapido, the roads are getting more safer. Why? They, right from the way their speed is, the speed at which they are driving, to a minute detail like if he's taking a steep turn, sudden turn, we literally track each and every aspect of his driving and we give feedback to him. interventions are done real time, not a day later.
Oh, okay, and one last question, quick, one single advice to an aspiring entrepreneur.
I think just do it, and that is a principle that we have followed. When Rapido started, definitely there were not a lot of framework, regulations, and a lot of things in place for a bike taxi to be set up in this country. However, we started, and definitely because the moment you are doing good to the public, definitely, and which is also the government's mission and vision, we have seen the government supporting, progressing their policy work, coming up with the frameworks, and things fall in place. So, while the current situation might not be conducive, if there is true value being added, then just start doing it.
Sure, Pavan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.